Welcome everybody to Ballers and Briefs, week 11, fantasy and DFS showdown. Good old Washington Commandos versus the Philadelphia Eagles. What's up, dudes?
Let's get it.
What's up, fellas?
This is kind of weird because you both have like ancestral ties to both of these locations. Like Phil's got like tied to the DMV and Brad's tied to Philly. So it's like these maybe not teams that you guys root for or actually even like, but you kind of got
we got beef,
a little bit of ties to them, little NFC EAST ties.
Always gonna have love for the birthdown, and I'm always gonna have love for that Philly cheesesteak, man. It's amazing. Boy, I can tell you something. If you go there, definitely try their cheesesteaks. Not the
I agree.
Pat and Gino's. Don't go there. Find you somewhere local, D'Alessandro's maybe, and get you the real deal, man. It's worth it, definitely. But I'm excited for this matchup, man. I really am. I think this is gonna be a showdown that's puts up some points.
I'm definitely eating Philly cheesesteak. I don't know where it was at though. We went to the #1 haunted house in America, the Eastern State Penitentiary out there. That was like on Fear and Ghost Hunters and all that stuff. It was one of the dopest haunted attractions I've ever been to. And somewhere over there was like a hole in the wall type store with the Philly cheesesteaks, and still think about it. It's crazy.
That's one place. That's one state actually I've never been to is Pennsylvania. So, the birthplace of America, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but hey, this game is exciting. I mean, it's kind of like both of these teams. Technically, Eagles are in first place and they're 7-2, and the Commanders are 7-3, coming off a loss, and then the Eagles are coming off of just an absolute just drubbing of the Dallas Cowboys. So, but I know that we'll get to that. But a little bit of news from stuff that happened in week 10. Obviously, want to give one more good shout out to everybody that came out on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
It was a great time. We gave away that Tyreek Hill jersey. Thanks, Phil. I know you got it shipped out.
Yes, sir. Hope you get that fresh if you're in here.
Fresh, you're in here. If you're not, I'm sure you'll be later, hopefully. And then it was great. It was a great time. Sorry the question was hard, but shit ain't easy. You know, that's what I was thinking. Like it can't be easy. I can't just give it away. They were giving you something. I can't give you the answer. So, but it was fun though.
It was a good question. Two-parter. I expected more people to be battling, but we had a small battle.
I mean, we had over 200 people watching us. I mean, 220 people watching us, and only really like 3 to 5 people tried to answer it, and then it got down to just basically just two people punching it out, you know. So finally got an answer, but it was a great time. Again, appreciate you guys, and this ain't the last one. We've got some other stuff up our sleeve going on periodically. So, but week 10 was full of walk-offs, last minute blocks by block kicks. I mean, I feel like Denver thought they had that shit in the bag. They put a rookie on the left-hand side of the field goal protect team, and he gets his ass just demolished. And Will Lutz kicks the ball right basically in the guy's face. And there goes the game, and the Chiefs are now 9-0. Speaking of the Chiefs, supposedly Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes' house were burglarized sometime in last couple months or whatever, and it was weird. It's just that both of them got hit in the same night. It was really weird. But
yeah,
I mean, they're looking for all the cash, man. I mean, I'm sure hopefully these dudes aren't stupid and leave it around, but I mean, one's arguably with the hottest pop star in the world, and the other one is the hottest quarterback in the world, right? So It is what it is, I guess. So
Might be an inside job.
could be.
Be an inside job. You might have to wonder who's kind of in the circles a little bit, or who has address books or something like that. You know, it's just a little weird that they both get hit in the same night. Too coordinated for my thinking.
Somebody Jackson Mahomes owes money to, right?
Or just someone who just may feel a little disgruntled for one reason or another and just figure, hey, you know, they won't miss that extra.
Yeah. And then my Texans have not scored a second half touchdown since week 6, and I appreciate that shit. We let Jared Goff throw 5 interceptions in a ball game, and we still lose.
That was crazy, man. That was turnover central. Both teams.
I mean, CJ threw 2 himself, and Jared Goff still threw for more yards with 5 interceptions than CJ Stroud did. Can't try to run the ball when the run is not working. You have to abandon it some, and it didn't.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, he agrees.
Yeah,
he got to abandon the ball. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he knows what's up. What's up, Jay? What's up, Jay?
What's good, Jay?
Yeah, so it I don't know. You got to abandon it when it doesn't work. And then this man right here, Jake Bates, man, kicked 60-yarders, has no football training, like football experience, basically. He was a kickoff specialist at University of Arkansas, but before that, he was just a soccer player. And then he goes to the UFL and he's kicking bombs in the UFL, and then they sign him, and now he's just skeeting them in, dude, like literally like skeeted right past the goalpost twice, and it ends up beating us. So I don't know, man. I feel like we're on a downward trajectory. Hopefully this week with Nico coming back, that was a psych out moment. They said he was going to play, and then right at game time, oh, he's inactive. He's not ready yet. So it was rough. And then Mike Williams, I played that man in DFS thinking, I was like, I know he's going to get a he's going to get a freaking moonball touchdown. And what does he do? He gets a fucking moonball touchdown. So
that he did.
Yes,
I happened to pick him up off of waivers too. So it was crazy. Jay, you cannot abandon the Cowboys. I'm sorry. And you cannot go to the Chiefs. Not going to the damn Chiefs. He can't.
You can't go to the Chiefs. I agree, but you can abandon the Cowboys. We accept that. We at the NFL delegation allow a trade off from the Cowboys fans. I don't know if we allow to the Chiefs though. You can't
just go to the Chiefs, man.
You can come to the Saints. We take black and gold all day. We sit this season out though, Jay, if you come over to the black and gold side. But we reunite.
Go at least be a Lions fan or some shit. Like, don't go be a Chiefs fan.
Nah,
you can't just
not the Lions neither. They're just gonna fumble it in the playoffs like they do every year. So you don't want that kind of heartbreak.
Man, they could be Super Bowl. They could be the Super Bowl. Be the Super Bowl. Be like blue and red. The way it looks right now.
Look, the Super Bowl is in New Orleans this year, so not a bad time to be a Saints fan. He said I'm a Lions fan.
As a Jags fan, I'm contemplating myself on what my next move might have to be. I mean, I know I can't say, oh, you know, we're gonna do playoffs. So I'm torn a little bit. Of course, I got the Eagles. You can kind of fall back on the birthplace. They're doing some things, but I actually am rooting for the Lions myself as well, just as they're kind of in the sort of Jags territory of teams that's kind of been in the dumps for a long time, and you're just rooting for them to finally get out of the dumps. And it seems like this might be their year. So I just like to see that type of underdog type of story.
One of 4 teams that have never been to the Super Bowl, by the way: the Lions, the Texans, the Jags, and the Browns.
Well, so Jags ain't going anytime soon as long as they got T-Law. I'm gonna keep it real.
Well, he's going to injured reserve probably, and our flag football pal Mac Jones is going to be running the show.
All he needs is me out there running some passes. Actually, Jay, you could be a Redskins fan, keep it in the actual same division as the Cowboys, and you know they got hope this year. We're gonna really see tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see. But and then kind of making little jokes about the NFC North there. Shane Waldron, offensive coordinator for the Bears, out of here. They're blaming Caleb Williams' shit ass play.
Dude, he's ranked 468 out of 468 QBs.
So he's like,
it's him. It ain't the coach.
I mean, it's literally like, this is kind of the same argument, and I will cut this argument short. But again, I've made this same argument multiple times now. When 20 teams in the NFL are running that same fucking offense, 20, and only 7 of them have a winning record, what do you expect? When over 60% of the league is running the same offense or some version of the offense, what do you expect? That defenses are not going to be able to eat that offense's lunch every week. Texans, Packers, Niners, everybody, but the teams that are Steelers, but teams that are winning, the teams at the top of their game right now, the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Lions, those guys aren't running that offense. They're not running that Shanahan version of the West Coast scheme. They're not doing it. They're running it that Andy Reid almost type version. And then, of course, you've got the Ravens running more of a college type scheme that what's his name? Monken brought over from Georgia, which was a pro style scheme there. So it's different, and you got to be different. So that's why everybody, the defenses are just keying off on this same type motion and all that shit. It's just not working right now. So I don't know, man.
Did he really send that? I did not know he sent that text.
What happened? Y'all remember when he texted his punter before the season saying he won't be punting as much this season? Oh, you talking about T-Law?
Yeah,
well,
T-Law, I called it for 2 years straight now that man is hot garbage. And it is what it is.
And another AFC South quarterback, Anthony Richardson, is getting his job back.
Yep.
They're benching Flacco again. I mean, I don't know, dude.
Flacco.
Again, another one of those offenses, by the way. So just so you know. I think my case rests.
I think they should just do public tryouts and let me stretch these muscles and get on out there.
We were too old for that shit. I went to the trampoline park today.
My ankle stretching.
I went to the trampoline park today with my kid and was busting backflips, and my abs are sore, dude. Like, I am fucking sore.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
It's not the same.
No,
not the same. The recovery rate, they definitely say that it starts to slow down. It's starting to slow down a little bit. I won't lie.
Yeah, dude, my back hurts from sleeping. Yeah. Like, I know I ain't finna get hit by some 300-pound linemen and then wake up the next morning feeling good.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna need
soaking biofreeze, Epsom salt, biofreeze, whatever we could find.
Give me some of that deer antler blood that they inject in the NFL players and
spray.
Got to get back into the chiropractor again, man. I got off. I got to get back on.
Yeah, they got this stretch lab and everything now. They know like, oh, you old ass dudes need to do that shit. So
yeah, I feel it every day.
But yeah,
so do that.
Of course, the Ballers and Briefs Bowl has a victor, and Brad put my ass in the grave. Like, he literally just put my ass in the grave. Like, curb stomped me on the ground.
Sleep, Brad. Put him to sleep.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a great game though. It was fun. It's always fun when you play your friends, but it sucks when your team just puts up no fight whatsoever. Like, coming
out. The projector didn't work, kind of what we were thinking a little bit. But I think at first I was a little nervous because I had tried to make a choice between Ricky Pearsall and Alec Pierce. And I remember seeing Ricky catch that pass early that day, and he took it right to the house. And I'm on the floor like, no, this can't be it. Because I think at the time, Alec Pierce only had maybe, I think, 2 catches maybe for like 48 yards or something like that. But I believe he ends up getting a touchdown and scoring about 18 fantasy points, which helped to stack up. All praise out to my boy Joey B coming through for me. That was basically what I needed to get over.
Yeah, fucking Philly defense, man. 20 points with the Philly defense. I can't.
Which also brings to the point. I know I harp this all the time, but I was down a couple games even in my league. But make sure you're adjusting your defenses based off of the matchups. Work the waiver wires. That's the same for the kickers as well. You don't have to kind of be loyal to those types of positions. Find a better matchup. This week I had Eagles and also the Ravens. Last week I chose the Eagles defense against that Dallas offense, and it paid off for me. And those additional points are really was sort of what the difference was in that matchup between myself and Cody and I. But this is how it kind of goes year in, year out. We love it. It's sort of like a Florida-Georgia rivalry a little bit. Sometimes we get to play each other twice a year. I don't know if we get to play again this season, but we
not
might
in the regular season, but hopefully see your ass in the playoffs.
Potentially, it could work out to be a playoff type of situation, man. But it was definitely cool. We're in a 14-man league, but I will say that I think just about 10 or 12 of those teams down the stretch legitimately have a chance of like turning their seasons and basically making the playoffs and kind of moving forward and beyond. So it's definitely it's feeling like the SEC right now a little bit with how good these teams are, man. It's a competition each week. You got to bring your A game.
I mean, I was 5-0 and I've dropped 4 out of 5. So literally first 5 weeks I was killing everybody.
This is what I'm saying.
And it's dropped 4 straight, and it's just been pure. I mean, either injuries or guys just not scoring. I mean, like when you got guys like when we talk about it later on, Saquon Barkley and Jaden Daniels is on my team. And they put up 16 combined points last week when you need at least 20 to 25 from either of them.
Yep.
To stay afloat. That shit, just you're dead. You're dead in the water when it comes to that, especially in a deep league like we're in. I mean, when top score 2 weeks in a row has been 167 points. So you can't, there's nothing you can do about it. So we'll see. We've seen, I mean, second place team in the league right now was a bottom feeder like the first 5 weeks, and they've run 6 in a row. So that's,
I don't even know who that is.
He's Boise
running
State.
Back for Boise State.
State.
He's actually on a Heisman potentially run. He's trying to break Barry Sanders' record, right?
Yeah.
He's on pace to break Barry Sanders' record. I think everyone in the league at this point wants him. I think he's a plug and play. He reminds me like Zeke Elliott. He's just gonna hit the league and run. It's just gonna be watch out for him next year.
I don't watch enough college. What I need to do is go to a college game. I've been seeing these LSU
it's
TikTok
amazing
videos, dude, and it's like that stadium is fucking lit. Me and Jay went to a UCF one, and I thought that was lit. This LSU shit that I've been
UCF is a lit game, a lit school anyway. I mean, like they're one of the top party schools in America.
Oh yeah, we experienced that. We experienced that.
This shit is like, I mean, their Space U uniforms are dope. Like they're considered Space U, so that's pretty cool. What's up, Drew?
I mean, I was on the floor in a Wawa at 4 a.m. drinking water that Jay stole from me. So. And not to mention we drove down there like 3 hours with a hookah lit in my car the whole way there. We had this hookah going the whole way to that school. But the LSU ones I've been seeing look insane. Like I got to go to that.
I mean, they just put like $19 million in their stadium or some shit like that. So
yeah, they were screaming like "suck this tiger" the whole time.
Oh yeah, they were saying it. They were talking about it. They were talking about it on Pat McAfee today. Like he was screaming it on the show. Like he was like, "Suck this tiger dick," and I was like,
Yeah,
"Bro, that's
whole stadium screaming it,
Yeah.
dude. Just lit in there.
yeah."
What a time. Jay's like, "Stop, Phil. You saying this shit publicly."
Yeah. No, this comment right here. Yes, Drew. Phil and I were actually talking about that during the game. Like we just thought, I was like, why would you try to make that tackle and you took a knee right to the side of the head? But yeah, I mean, let's we can hop right into the Millie.
Damn,
I guess
she's got a Hurts Barkley combo and a Burrow Chase combo. If that's season long, that's fire.
I think
yeah,
she
said
said
me
before
she
she had
did. She
the
sent me
Burrow
she
Chase
sent it to me
combo.
on she sent it to me on Twitter. Like Nessa sent it to me on Twitter. Like she's
That's
like,
fire.
I told you this guy was gonna quit, and I swear the guy must have rage quitted because like I mean it was almost 100 points. It looked like 100 points. So yeah. But I mean, like, I do want to say that I told y'all to play George Kittle. That was my lock, right? And he's in the Millie Maker, by the way.
Yeah, I played him. I listened to you.
There you
And
go.
you called Juwan Jennings.
There you go.
I did call Juwan Jennings. I definitely didn't call Ridley.
We
I had
talked
James
about
Conner
Connor,
in
if I'm
mine.
not mistaken. We
Yeah,
talked
I
about Connor.
We said play
Locked him in
Connor.
my
We
single
did talk
entry.
about him.
My issue was I used Sam Darnold and Jefferson as my combo, and they combined for like 18 points. Which
I
was
used them
horrible.
in single entry. My Millie Maker, I bombed that shit with Baker Mayfield stack. So
other than that, the only thing I don't get to in this lineup is Noah Brown, and he got a snowflake. So I feel like this line could have been better. How much was Alec Pierce, dude? How much was Alec Pierce? I feel like he was like the 4,000 price range. Because I defaulted to somebody like that. I mean, you could have put Marcus Valdez-Scantling in that spot and absolutely crushed.
You could have swapped Noah Brown
for Scantling. Is probably the highest
for Ricky Pearsall. Pretty much, Ricky Pearsall was 44, so I don't know exactly if he saved any money. Where the money, like actual math, how it's mathed.
Valdez was cheaper than that. He was in the 3,000s, and he had like 28 points.
You could have played. You could have played Mac Hollins for 3,300, and he got 12 points.
That's who I played. I played Mac Hollins. So it's like all my shitty people did good, and my two Darnold and Jefferson shit the bed, and it destroyed my whole lineup.
Valdez-Scantling was 3,900. You were correct.
Yeah, and I played Minnesota's defense, which did pretty good. They didn't do as good as the Patriots, though.
I played the Patriots defense. I was like, I had this weird feeling, but they were second highest owned defense on the slate at that point, and I was like, it was them or the Bears, obviously, and I was like, all right, let me see. And I ended up running the Patriots defense out, and that was the best thing that was in my damn line. The rest of it just was total trash because I took 2 zeros from Tipton and McClellan.
Yeah, McMillan screwed everybody. Drew's right about that too. They get rid of Hopkins and Ridley all of a sudden just pops off. It's kind of crazy. They couldn't do that with Hopkins there. It's crazy. Like you feel like it'd be easier for someone like Ridley to pop off if Hopkins was pulling coverage. Hopkins is gone now. It should be easy just to lock down Ridley, and every team is letting him destroy them. It's crazy.
They forget actually he was actually a pretty good receiver. Like, I mean, honestly. And I don't know, dude. They
paid him all that money at this point. I guess you got to throw him the ball, right? I mean, you got to see what you have.
He's the same age as Amari Cooper, by the way. And I feel like Amari Cooper's been in the league like 47 years longer than Calvin Ridley. It's that. I don't know. I did play Brock Purdy, but he was high owned. Like he was the highest owned quarterback on the slate.
Well, I only did the one single entry, the $100 single entry, so I didn't mass enter. If I did, I would have played Purdy, but he was chalk.
I wonder if this was a hand-picked lineup just because of the ownership. From the previous weeks, we've seen a lot more where the ownership of the guys they chose were a lot lower. Whereas this week, it seems like a lot more percentages of at least over 15%. Yeah, chalk. It almost seems like maybe this might have been a sort of a hand done or more of a hand picked lineup than it would be optimized. But maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm missing it. But that's what
it looks hand picked.
It does. It looks very.
Also, it doesn't look like he tried to get different anywhere. The Noah Brown in there just looks
he
like
says,
villain.
I guess,
Jay,
yeah.
Jay.
Oh, he's a whale. Then never mind. He mass entered.
Okay.
I mean, this week wasn't hard though. Look at the winning score, 178. Just last week it was like 270. So like when no one scores and no one's scoring, none of the chalk, when no one is scoring, the chalk usually suffices because they're getting volume on DraftKings. Now FanDuel, I don't know what the fuck won, but on DraftKings, chalk is because of volume. He's got a lot of chalk in here, which means he got the volume. But in my opinion, he missed like Valdez-Scantling. He missed Mac Hollins. He had
Pierce
major
was 40,
misses.
Pierce was 4,900. I'm just looking at other lineups. The difference between, what is he?
I want to
63?
check.
You could have played Kyler Murray for 6,300 and scored more than Purdy. Kyler Murray scored 28.
And the winning lineup in the $100 single entry only had 167 points. Damn, their lineup is close. Instead of Eckler, they had Kareem Hunt. Instead of Jennings, they had Sutton. Instead of Noah Brown, they had Pearsall. Instead of Kittle, they had Ertz. Oh, they had Kittle too. Instead of Connor, they had Ertz. And then they played the Chargers defense.
Could have played Rashad. Could have played Rashad White instead of Eckler, and scored more.
That's crazy.
Well, now that whatchamacallit,
that's wild, dude.
Now that Roto Grinders put it behind a paywall, you can't see the breakdown anymore. So shout out to Roto Grinders for putting the shit behind the results database behind a paywall now. It started last week.
The fact that he hit this, the fact that he hit this 3 times is crazy. Jay said this is his third.
That is crazy. If this
Bobby Wells hit it, I think 3 times, and I thought that was crazy. Now other people coming out, especially when there's this many sharks out here nowadays, to hit the millie 3 times is crazy.
Giant Squid. He's a Roto Grinders guy. Let me see. I'm just looking right now. He's yeah, he's right. Looking.
Chase probably met this dude in person. Like he just said, I was getting ready to say it. Yeah, Jay used to pop into some of these like final things in person for Amit. And he met all these people.
It's wild.
Shout out to Jay for not being an accessory, by the way.
Jay probably was an accessory. They just on the download.
Well, according to Roto Grinders, Giant Squid is the 9th best right now. Behind and number 1 is Mock Loven and
Empire Maker.
Utica.
Where's Empire Maker? I know he's up there.
This is just on Roto Grinders. So this may be people that subscribe to them. Like Chipotle Addict is like 15. So these are guys that we've seen quite often, but the points aren't really there. McLovin is just killing people by like 30,000 points.
Yeah, you want to play against them every day, do the 3-man and 4-man contest. You do the 3-man, 4-man, $20 up there in every single contest, all the way to like 5K in entry. Oh, his dad's money ran out. Empire started shipping it. That's what it was. Because I know he was ranked on there. Even on the Roto, he was ranked on there.
Yeah. Lunch.
Because he had a bet with Osimo, right? It was Empire Maker that had the bet with Osimo, right, Jay? Where they bet like 300,000 or something like that they would win more money in one given week than the other person. And I think Osimo won.
Yeah, Osimo is actually 29th right now on Roto Grinders, according to them. So, but neither here nor there. This is just so that everyone knows that we're not biased and we don't do this shit. I'm just looking at notes off of Roto Grinders because it's fun to look at results, see where other people are at that.
What do you mean he pays developers to fix his model? He has like an optimizer he uses?
That'd be crazy.
Some of these people aren't even like Jay said, they're legit nerds. They're not sports fanatics. They're numbers addicts, man, and they can crunch numbers and compute statistics and averages better than anybody, and that's what they do. They just use numbers to win.
Yeah. I mean, I met quite a few guys just been out here in the Twitter space with fantasy football that they do that shit with like season long. Never heard a lot of people do it with DFS, but I've seen a few people here and there doing that shit with DFS.
If you look, they mass entry every sport: golf, hockey, basketball. There's no way they know all of these sports when you look at them. Like, you can look at some people and be like, yeah, that dude eats, sleeps, breathes sports. You look at these dudes and you're like, math team, wizard, Harry Potter, not sports.
100%.
Yeah, it's a numbers game for sure. And I guess he has a fucking system that he has that Jay's talking about where it's based on math. And then he has a team of people that know the sports and put their twist on his numbers. And then he comes out just on top.
Yeah.
If you have a whole team of people working on a system, I would hope you're grossing in $1 million, here and there to pay for all of that. That it would take for people to punch numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think me and Jay were looking at it one day. It was like Empire Maker. You could see he bet like 300 and something thousand and he won 600 and something thousand. And I was like, imagine.
I mean, if you're doing that and you have a good cash lineup and you know that cash lineup's gonna pay you out.
Or they even cash because they don't have that much in cash. Yeah. Like, they only got it. You could probably get up to maybe 20K in cash entries. The rest come from their $20,000 3 and 4 man entries that they do, and then those big like $5,000 100-man contests that pay $1 million and have high payouts all the way down to like 20th place. Yeah. That's where I don't want to say it's easier, but I want to say it's easier. I mean, it's harder because you're playing against straight pros, straight sharks, but it's easier because you're competing against 100 people than 100,000 people.
Oh yeah. So, the numbers aren't going to lie ever, that's anything in life, but I mean, it just takes what's it do? Just takes one, right? Just takes one. So
one day.
Yeah, I mean,
this
I don't know, man. We talked about quite a few people in this lineup. I just don't know if I wouldn't have got to. I mean, I did say Eckler, but I think maybe it was Fresh. I think may have been talking about Eckler or something like that. But I was more like on that tip for FanDuel. But
I wasn't going Eckler because of Pittsburgh's run defense. But I can see how you get there. I mean, he's the only running back in the backfield because Robinson is out. So
yeah, and he
catches the ball. So I can see how you get there. That's not crazy. Noah Brown, I don't really like that play, especially when you have Eckler in the lineup, because now you have 2 Washington players in there and you don't even have the quarterback. So it's kind of weird to me. So I definitely wouldn't have went Noah Brown. But like I said, he's an easy toss for Valdez-Scantling. I literally considered Valdez-Scantling, and I was like, nah, if I put anybody in, it's going to be Tipton, like you did, or Tippin, whatever his name is. And then I just decided against all of them. I moved my lineup around. I came up with more money somewhere.
I mean, you could have played at A.D. Mitchell, who we called from the Colts game, for less. He was like 3,400, and he was chalk.
Yeah, because like
15%.
I wanted Pierce or Pearsall, which I think is funny because that was Brad's decision too. And I was down to those 2 in my lineup. And then, like I said, I moved shit around. Ended up taking neither one of them. I didn't even take Jennings, who I called on the fucking show. He's in the Millie lineup. I ended up with like Matt Collins as my punt play, and then other people threw out. So I didn't even get to the guy I called out.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just jumping through trying to see there's other spots that you could have hit. I mean, I don't know.
Tough. Not a lot of scoring this week.
No, it's an ugly week. It's an ugly week. And you don't.
These are the easier weeks to win, man. Like I said, the chalk wins. Look at that. If you just don't go too crazy, too much randomization on your optimizer, not too many pump plays, and just keep it there, you'll not necessarily win first place for a milli, but you'll be up there with a successful weekend.
I just want to see, now that we're talking about this as chalk, I want to see like what my chalk lineup was.
I usually make my lineup on Saturday after the podcast, Jay, and then I do more like numbers games on the optimizer in the morning time.
This is my exact life. This is my exact life, Jay.
I change my lineup, but what I do is I take that lineup that I made the night before and I put it in a $3 entry just so I can, see what would have happened if I left it in, so that way I don't be like, damn, whatever would happen if I didn't change my lineup. But then it comes down to before game time and I start looking at chalk and ownership, and then I'm like changing people around. I'm like, fuck, who to put in? No, I've no idea.
I mean,
that was my Pierce fucking dilemma. Then I ended up changing the whole lineup and ended up with Mac Hollins.
It's the budget. It's that budget.
I mean, I ran a fucking Derek Carr lineup in
that was successful.
Yeah, it got me 154 points because I fucking played Justin Jefferson in the motherfucker.
Dude, that was winning the $100 single entry for the longest. Him paired with Valdez-Scantling was winning the $100 single entry all the way to like the last game.
I mean, I have Connor, Bijan, Jetta, Sutton, Pearsall, Taysom Hill, Dallas Goedert, and the Patriots defense. And I would have beat this lineup had I not fucking played Justin Jefferson and I'd have played fucking Calvin Ridley. Oh
Yo, I remember when Jay won me and him tickets to Jags game with the FanDuel seats. We had the FanDuel section because his best lineup was in a fucking free contest for a draft for FanDuel tickets to a Jags game. And he literally
on TV.
Yeah, we were on TV like 5 times. Like this section was gold. And
behind a pool or something.
Yeah, right. With the pools right there in our section. It was all you can drink for free, all you can eat for free. But they limited us to like a specific brand. And me and him didn't want that brand. We wanted like Corona. So we saw a table next to us getting Coronas and shit. And we were going and taking theirs.
That's funny.
But that's funny, dude, because my best lineup is always in the freebies because I do the dumbest shit because I'm like, you got to do some crazy shit.
Like SEMA, bro, during the fucking Super Bowl. She won fucking first on the free fucking shit. I'm like,
yeah, SEMA came in first on a free entry. There's like 4 million people in that thing.
Would have won us $1 million fucking dollars had I put that lineup in the fucking Millie Maker. She beats the whole fucking Millie Maker by itself.
Yeah, she slayed it. Crazy. All Cody had to do was put it everywhere. And that's my purpose for every time I make a lineup, I at least dump it into a cheaper contest so I can see how it did. So that way it's always with me.
Oh, I'm just so disgusted. Like to this day, like I'm like, she's like, babe, I'm in first. And I'm like, you're in first in what? She's like, I'm in first in the free contest. And I'm like, what? And I look at the shit and it's I'm looking at the Millie winner and she's like blowing the Millie winner out by like 15 points, and I'm like,
is that the one where she had like Brandon Bolden and he got like 3 touchdowns on the Super Bowl?
No, it was a Philadelphia Chiefs Super Bowl, and I think it was whoever she had the captain and everybody else and all the turds that went off, like fucking Tony, I think was in that lineup, and I don't know, dude. I'm to this day, I never even think about it. So, but yeah. I guess we can talk about what we actually came here to talk about. What I said before, the ancestral ties here that Brad and Phil have to the DMV and Philly. So
hail to the Redskins.
The Commandos.
Never in my book. It'll never be Commanders in my book.
So there's like people out there on Twitter saying that, and this is political, but this is not. I have no ties to politics on either side of the map here. Okay, this is just a shit I saw on Twitter that people are like, oh, Donald Trump's going to come in and put a mandate out to the NFL that they have to change the name back to the Washington Redskins. And I'm like, what the fuck? He can't fucking do that.
Every fan of the Redskins wants it back to the Redskins. There's even like Indian tribes who have came forward and said that they find it disrespectful that they're not the Redskins. So, you know, you got all these other teams like the Seminoles and shit. Like, why? I don't understand why they couldn't be the Redskins.
Well, a lot of teams have left their Native American monikers like the Cleveland Guardians. The
Either
Cleveland
way,
Indians
like
are now the
Commanders
Cleveland-
just sounds stupid. Commanders.
I
When I
think
hear
they
like
could use it.
Commanders, I think of Commando and I think of like streaking. Like I don't know.
That I think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, that Arnold
Like-
Schwarzenegger movie called Commando. That's what I think of. That's why I call Commandos. So it's like, yeah, that's all I think of. Not it doesn't roll off the tongue. Like, go back to the Washington football team for God's sake. Like, Commanders just sounds.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know. They do have cool ass uniforms though. I have to give them that though.
Not as cool as y'all's motherfucking helmets this past weekend.
Oh, those
I was
those
literally like,
red
I'm
ones
about to
are sweet.
order a Houston Texans helmet and just have that shit in my office.
That shit was. I mean
That's fire.
the chrome the red chrome.
It's like red
face
chrome
mask.
was fire.
Yeah. Somebody said that they look like devil horns instead of bull horns, and I was like, "You're trying too hard to
Who
just shit.
cares?
You're trying to
It
shit
looks
on them."
fire. It looks fire. Let it be
Yeah.
devil horns.
I liked
I
the
just-
white. I'm gonna be honest with you. I liked the white Jags helmets that they wore this week, just for the simple fact of it was something different, and like I hadn't seen the Jags in that in a light colored helmet before, besides the gold to black ones that they
They
had.
wore
back in
that
the
with
Bortles.
black uniforms though. Right? That's where they fucked up. It should have been white uniforms that they wore that with. The black uniforms would have been fire with a black helmet. Black pants.
I mean, I think it would have looked cool
Slay.
in like the teal color. Or to be totally honest with you, I liked back during the day, like when we actually had color rush time and the fucking gold, the full gold Jags. So
I feel like we're doing the baby Jesus talk from Talladega Nights. I picture my baby Jesus, be wearing a tuxedo shirt. You don't remember that part?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's what it sounds like. We're describing what we like on uniforms.
yeah, I mean, it was I don't know, it's cool. Like that's one thing I like about the NFL, like the uniforms, but something I like better about college, because college uniforms are so
Way better.
different. Yes.
Oregon, even Maryland. I love the Terps helmets, man. Those things are so fire.
Maryland is underrated for their jerseys and
Yeah.
their combos. I love the state flag helmets that they run out sometimes.
So fire, man.
mean,
The
isn't
black
there-
ones are so fire.
Isn't the owner, the CEO or the owner of Under Armour, isn't he a Maryland alum though? I think that
Yeah, I
just
believe
like,
so.
or a booster for sure, but just like Phil
Booster.
Knight is the booster for Oregon. So that, I mean, that it makes total sense. But I mean, there's teams out there that aren't affiliated with that are like that, but that have cool ass uniforms that you just don't see often. Like, go and look at the fucking the Aztecs, San Diego State Aztecs. Their fucking like Aztec helmet, like it's like red with the Aztec symbols, like hieroglyphs all over it. That shit is pretty tight.
Wasn't it just like Texas that had the black and orange uniforms? And they did the video of like the venom shit coming over the player's body and turned everything black. Those were fires.
Yeah.
They said whoever did their marketing needs a promotion because that video was fire.
And they have lots of money in Austin though, so like there's a lot of money in that school, dude. A lot of money. So, but neither here nor there. This is speaking of SEC. These two former SEC quarterbacks. I don't give a shit. Jalen Hurts will be an Alabama quarterback till the day I die. I don't care that he went to Oklahoma. I just blanked that shit out of my mind. He's an Alabama quarterback. Fuck that Oklahoma shit. So I like this. I like this game. Personally, have a lot riding on this game because I have like 4 people in this game in my season long lineup.
Question is Lattimore playing in this game or is he still injured?
I'll pull it up.
I think it's funny the Saints traded that man injured. They were like, yeah, y'all can have him. He gonna be out for a few weeks.
Okay, so let me see.
Because that's notable considering AJ Brown is 30% of the fucking targets every week. And he's gonna get shit on by Lattimore.
He is out. Lattimore is out.
So AJ Brown will eat again because the guy who covers out there. Juice Man, or whatever his fucking
Saint
name
Juice,
is.
yeah.
Saint Juice
Yeah.
is awful.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Dude, it's trash. AJ Brown is gonna destroy him.
So Nick Bellore, linebacker, out with a knee. Brandon Coleman, tackle, questionable with a shoulder, but he did practice. Lattimore still will not play with that hamstring injury that, like you said, you traded him. Y'all traded him injured. Maybe that was a smart thing. You knew that he wasn't gonna maybe not play for the rest of the season, and like, hey, we sold you on a hope and a dream.
Yeah.
Cornelius Lucas, the other tackle, limited in practice, questionable with an ankle. Austin Seibert, the kicker, will not play for another week. And then Andrew Wiley, starting tackle, questionable with a shoulder injury. And then the Eagles have no one on the injury report.
Oh, nice. Lovely.
So everybody's playing.
Fireworks. Well, I think I just spoke my piece. I think AJ Brown absolutely eats in this game because St. Juice is straight shit. And Redskins are not that good against quarterbacks. So could be a good Jalen Hurts game. He's been harnessing all the touchdowns from Barkley.
Yeah.
So was it like three in the last 2 games each or something like that he's taken from him? It's like 6 touchdowns.
I mean, he's been the in our league for sure. The guy that has him in our league is the one that's won over 167 fantasy points back-to-back weeks. So yeah,
another good thing about this game is Scary Terry is only 6% owned in the captain spot. I would say that is a very live spot for taking down tournaments, considering him and Jaden Daniels are like chemistry at max.
I mean, Terry McLaurin, even though he's a pure number one, and literally he said that he's never had a quarterback in his time in Washington more accurate and as good as Daniels. Now, that could be what I have at the moment is what's working for me. I don't want to shit on him, but at the same time, he just said that he's been the best quarterback he's ever played with in the NFL. So,
well, what's also interesting about this matchup is that the Eagles defense in the last, I believe, 3 or 4 matchups from a fantasy football perspective, they've been scoring double digits 3 of the last 4 games, I believe 10, 15, and 20. So we have to keep in mind that this is a rookie quarterback. And that the matchup, given also it being a divisional, it may play a little bit lower than what we could potentially be expecting. Well, I do think that McLaurin could go off. I believe the defense is top 10 for the Eagles. So it may not be as sort of prolific as we're sort of hoping for tomorrow. But I also on the other side, the same thing. The Commanders, I believe, are a top 15 defense as well. So if they're able to sort of bottle up what the Eagles like to do from a ground perspective, again, this could get a little bit murky, but I do expect it to play 21-17-ish.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think the last 2 showdowns we just had were like field goal kickers, man, just dominating as the captain, and just had to have them in the lineup. If you didn't, you were losing it. So that could be possible here. Defenses held up, settle for field goals, but personally, I can't go under.
I'm done saying these games are going to be slow. After that Bengals and Ravens shit last week. And the thing is obviously Jalen, and I'm talking, this is from last week, right? So the Commanders, when they played Pittsburgh, Jalen Warren and Najee Harris had 119 combined yards between the 2 of them. Obviously, 2 of them together are about as good as Saquon Barkley. So there you go. That could be Saquon could be a spot to go here. I am glad that Washington's getting B-Rob back, because I think that offense suffers without him on the field.
Agreed.
Sorry, Austin Eckler ain't it. he ain't it. Dude was not. He was mediocre, high end mediocre at best in when he was with the Chargers. I felt like he was better when he was under Anthony Lynn. Because obviously, what is Anthony Lynn? He's a Super Bowl winning running back. And then the last couple years, he was reached for, and then he couldn't pull. He was kind of hurt here and there. I just feel like he's a good number 2. B-Rob is better, so I think Jaden Daniels is better when Robinson's on the field. So, and I think that will help. The fact of the matter is, obviously, Dallas sucks. Their run game sucks. That was another reason why it didn't do anything for me with them. My thing is how 2 weeks ago the Jaguars hung 23 on that defense, and it all wasn't really in garbage time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, also, I think keep in mind one of those touchdowns, it may be attributing, but one of those was Trayvon Walker picking up a fumble and taking it to the house. So
yeah,
that's a little bit,
I guess, skewed.
A little bit skewed in that instance a bit.
I'm just trying to see like what their defense has done other than like who did they play? That was another game. I want to say Bengals. What the Bengals do against them?
Do they know if Robinson is out yet or not? I don't remember from your injury report.
He was limited in practice. He's not even considered questionable on the injury report. That's what I'm saying. I honestly think that the Washington are better with him on the field, and that makes for good timing in this game alone.
Thanks, Jones, for sports.
Thanks, Jones. Appreciate it, bro. Sorry your Cowboys just got destroyed by Philly, by the way. And as we told Jay earlier, you can ditch the stars for a while if you need to. Hey Connor, we will, once we get to end of this, we'll answer that question for you.
And let us know if that's PPR, Connor, and who else is on your team.
Yeah, that will help. Yeah, I mean, here's the guys. Obviously, these are the 6 highest owned guys in the slate right now.
Yeah, but I think he's not high owned in captain spot.
Oh, I'm just saying in the flex spot.
I think one more to add on to this list would be Dallas Goedert. Actually, he had 1 touchdown last week, but keeping in mind that they actually targeted him in the red zone before that. He actually ended up getting picked off by I think that was Trayvon Diggs, but that was targeted towards Goddard. So it seems like they're starting to try to really get him more involved into the offense. I know he's been dealing with a couple injuries, but it does look like the latest that there is no injury designation for him. He only had a handful of targets, so it's definitely sort of a crowded room. But if you want to kind of get a little different, that's one of the options that I've been kind of seeing and think might fit well, but I don't know what how well the Redskins play against the tight end.
What about Zach Ertz revenge game here?
Forgot about that. Watch out for him. They might sneak him in the end zone just to kind of get that little payback, and watch out for that boot pass at the goal line.
Because Mike Gesicki, when they played, 7 receptions for 73 yards, and Ertz is better than Gesicki. Let's see.
He just hasn't done shit the last 2 weeks. That's the only bad side, but that's probably a good thing for DFS because that means he's not going to get a lot of ownership, fly by on the radar, scoop him up and play him. But over the last 2 games,
receptions for 45.
Over the last 2 games, he's only got 36 yards. So that's atrocious. That's combined. That's
I
not
just know
36
that
yards each game. That's 36 yards total in 2 games. No touchdowns and 5 catches.
I'm just thinking like
But that's like I said earlier, that's a flyby play on people's radars. He hasn't done shit. They're not going to play him. Jasicki 8 against the Eagles. He's better. Could be a nice, sneaky captain play for all the millies. He'll be sub. Let's see. He'll be sub ownership for sure. Tight end. 3% in the captain. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just have this feeling that this could be a revenge game for him. I mean, going back to, this is obviously I'm reaching, but when Eagles play the Buccaneers, K. Dotton went 6 reception, 52 yards. So I could see Zach Ertz pulling down 9 or 10 points here, just for the simple fact that no matter, and it's even if you don't play him in a captain spot, but I like that in a captain spot. But even if you don't play him in a captain spot, he's pulling less ownership than Noah Brown. As you're trying to get, if you don't go to Noah Brown, because the Eagles tend to give up less yards to the receiver than they do to the tight end. I don't know. It's just a thought. Just was thinking like, who else could you get exposure to here on the Washington side that's not?
Well, McLaurin in the captain spot is under owned, like I said, only 6%. Devontae Smith, 4%. Those are good, players with low ownership for captain spot for sure.
What is like Hurts and Daniels are the highest 2 owned in the captain spot? Fucking Dallas Goedert. Brad's fucking play of Dallas Goedert in the captain spot's 2%. That looks tasty as shit. After thinking about what they do, what Washington, oh my God.
The Washington's 12th against tight end, and not too bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Eagles are actually 3rd against the tight end, which is scary that Jasicki did what he did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Otten. And I'm just saying I think this is numbers that are skewed from like the last few weeks based off of that. But I'm just saying, like, they lost last week. Washington did. So what did the Steelers tight ends do? Didn't Freiermuth just fry their ass this week? Because people were talking about don't add him in your waiver wires. If you see him, don't. Freiermuth had 3 receptions for 17 yards and a touchdown. That's not a lot of yards, but that's a touchdown. He falls into the end zone.
True.
Sheesh. $20 into the millie this week. Just did it. Mr. Ertz as the captain. Yo, I like that play. Luke McCaffrey. He's who I had to fill in my lineup I just made in the Millie Maker. It was all I could afford. So I hope you're right on that, Jay.
Well, let's say this. A week before last, the Giants, Theo Johnson, the rookie tight end, went 3 receptions for 51 yards and a touchdown against the fucking Commanders.
I played him that week too. It's creepy.
So
I read something somewhere and I was like,
I was high on him, and I was high on him in the beginning of the season though. Like I picked him up, drafted him in season long, and I dumped him, picked him up, in and out. So I think this could be a smash for tight ends. And Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz both have won me money on showdowns as captains. So
I'm running the Ertz one. Let's see if it hurts or not.
Yeah. Ertz give you the squares, huh? Well, I want to give a shout out to the boys. We're talking about Eagles, to the boys at Mock 10 Breaks and Car Breaks. They sent me to this Jalen Carter card here. It's pretty dope. It's elite. I don't know, rookie card. So thanks to the Mock 10 boys out there.
Thank you, Mock 10.
So I know that they popped in a couple times and they
appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate that. So, but yeah.
I also might have a friend, Cody's friend of them too, that used to play for the Commanders that might hop in here on a podcast with us coming up. So see if he pops in. As of right now, he says he will. So I just got to give him the date and time. And
Ole Miss Rebel.
Yeah, he played for Ole Miss and he was on the Washington Redskins, I think, for a season before a knee injury.
Yeah. So trying to line up some special folks going forward because folks don't get tired
Chandler?
of hearing. What's up, Chandler? Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate you hopping in. How's your team doing this season?
I was gonna that same thing, right? I think he was the one that was doing good.
I mean, Chandler's been in here in and out, so I know he popped in. He was here, one of our originals, so I wanted to see how his actual team's doing this season. He's been in and out. We ain't asked a couple questions in a couple weeks, but so we'll answer Connor's question while we're waiting on Chandler to tell us what's up. So
what's good, K-Dub? Yeah, he's a full PPR.
5 and 5.
He was the one that was 5-0. That's what I thought. A 5-1.
Oh no.
The skid, man. I'm telling you, I did that same thing. I was 5-0, and I have dropped 4 of the last 5. Same shit.
These bye weeks make it tricky.
Same shit. So Connor says, do I trade Tracy and Debo for Monty? Okay. Full PPR. He has Baker, Kenny Walker, Aaron Jones, Tyrone Tracy, Amon-Ra, London, Devontae.
Is that what that is? Is that the
Deontay Johnson? I'm assuming that's who Tay is. Debo and Hawkinson. So is he wanting to trade Tracy and Debo for Monty?
I don't think you need a running back.
Monty. I wouldn't trade 2 for Monty.
I think you need a tight end. I definitely don't think you trade Debo.
2 for
Monty.
It
seems like Lions want to use Gibbs a little bit more in the run game than they do. In the pass game than they do with Montgomery, and that's what you really want in a PPR league. So I don't know if necessarily doing that 2 for 1 would be beneficial for you.
I think they're using it more in the rush game too. I think they only pull. I mean, they use Monty in other places, but they really use
short yardage. He's a short yardage guy. So
yeah.
And that's non PPR is where you want Monty because he's going to get you the touchdowns. Like Brad said, you want volume, you want catches, you want a pass catching running back. I think Williams and Jones are good. Probably should replace Hawkinson, or if that's Deontay, replace him too because he looked like shit.
I mean, Gibbs is RB5. He has 162 points. Monty is RB14 with 138. And you got Aaron Jones at 16 with 135. Tracy's 29 with 100. He's taking that backfield from Devin Singletary, and he's not going to give it back. And then Kenny Walker is 17.
Devontae Adams. It's Devontae Adams.
Oh, Devontae. Okay.
Well, I feel like that was a bust. He should have went to the Saints. Who that?
Debo.
I mean, I like Amon-Ra, London, and Debo as your wide receivers. I don't think you get rid of Debo. That's a solid 3-man right there. You have solid running backs. Trade Devontae Adams for somebody.
I mean, if you could bait somebody off that needs a wide receiver, I could get on board with that. Try to get out from under Devontae Adams with just the fact of like, oh well, maybe because he's 4-6. He's trying to make a move. That's why.
Yeah, but your move ain't a running back. I don't think. Hawkinson just came back. So who was your tight end before Hawkinson?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, that could be why you're 4 and 6. Could be your tight end.
Devontae Adams is running. I mean, wide receiver 39. So I would ship him if you can. Ship him and try to
And Hawkinson and get Kittle.
Kincaid.
You still have Kincaid or no?
Yeah, he says he's 4 and 6, and he's got Kincaid.
Or he had Kincaid, one or the other.
That little delay. He still got him. He says.
Does he have any stack options? Because he doesn't. He said he had what, Baker, but he doesn't have any receivers for
Yeah, I like that.
for the
That's smart.
Bucks. I
Dude,
mean, is there
trade
any way
Hawkinson for
to try to
Otto.
get
Otten.
Yeah, I would try to get
or
Otten
is
is
there any
tight
way
end
to
5.
maybe even a Rashad White here, or some way to try to work your stackable positions?
He was trying. He was trying to.
Yeah,
That
Tall's
would be what I would
Hawkinson.
What's up, John?
I agree with Drew. Hawkinson just had a decent weekend. He's only going to go up, and you might be able to sell that value on somebody for Otten. Maybe they got Sam Darnold.
I mean, Hawkinson is
Or
already
maybe-
tight end 50, and he's only played one game. So
I wonder if where I know Evans has been sort of injured and out, but again, maybe even try to work a stackable option that might be able to allow you to do a little bit more. Try to get you out of that. I would also wonder what are you doing as far as for defense and your kicking situation.
You could. I mean, this is crazy.
He could get rid of Debo for Evans, probably in a straight up trade.
Keep Hawk. Keep Hawk in your back pocket and see if you could flip Kincaid and maybe Devontae and try to get a stack with somebody with Baker. That's
I think he could trade Debo straight up for Evans.
I agree with Drew. Hold on with Hawkinson. Even against the Jaguars, he was getting targeted. It may not show up, fully right now, but he is also working his way back. So stay with him.
Fairbairn just fucking ate it up.
Okay.
4 and 6.
Probably tough matchups and poor performances from some elite players you have.
Is it the other question is this is 12-man probably or 10? Did he say?
No,
he didn't say, because that's
it's spread. His team seems spread for an 8-man.
I mean, Baker Mayfield is QB2 in fantasy football, and that's just crazy right now.
Yeah, so if he has somebody to pair him with, it would be elite. Like Debo for Evans, I would try that. You could, like they say, keep Hawkinson, try to pawn off Kincaid and Adams for Otten or something like that, and work some magic to get Bucks players.
I mean, a Otten and a depth player for Kincaid and Devontae.
But to answer your question originally, no, do not.
$200 league. 12 man.
Welcome to mine and Brad's life. Ours is 14. It sucks. Waiver wires garbage.
I'm sure that waiver wire is probably beat up, but again, I'm not sure if you said your defense, but also see if you can find a defense where maybe going against the Cowboys, not to knock them, but it might be pickings for those type of teams that you have a feeling aren't going to really do much offensively. Try to stack. Let us know where you get what happens next week.
I mean, I don't mind you getting out from under Tracy if you could get Monty, but it's just that to answer your original question, it's just that I think you're giving up too much with Tracy and Debo for Monty. It would be more in my head if you want to get rid of somebody. Tracy and Devontae is going to equal what Monty's going to give you. Okay. Because Devontae is a big ass question mark because the Jets are nothing but a question mark.
But you don't need Monty at all, so you shouldn't even be trying to get him.
I was just saying if he's getting rid of a running back, he needs to fill a running back spot. That's what I'm saying. Like, so he needs to try. I mean, I agree. You need to try to find a stack option. So Yeah, Connor, let us know, man. We'd appreciate it. Jay said he forgot to set his line. Nah, dude. Fantasy football's just weird this week. Like I'm telling you, dude, it's just skids.
It is.
Jay, is this your bet up here that you placed? You think Barkley's gonna get 2 anytime touchdowns? Dude, that scares the fuck out of me with Hurts at the helm, dude. He just be, oh, you want a touchdown? Psych! I'm gonna take it. 2+ is crazy.
That does scare me because he had 2 in the
No. Jalen Hurts is taking them all every game, dude.
No risk it, no biscuit.
The last 2 games, Jalen Hurts has taken them all.
Yeah, he has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 10. 5 weeks out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. So he's had 2 touchdowns in 7 weeks.
Yeah,
rushing 3 touchdowns in 7 weeks if you count a receiving touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you this, that's contrarian as fuck.
I make it pay. It can get you paid, Jay.
Yeah.
I like the AJ Brown. Jaden Daniels is another one that's just a little hard to get. They're actually got both running. It looks like they're getting both running backs back this week, so that's a little scary.
I mean, that's a passing or I like the anytime over a half touchdown. I would. That's what I like because I think Daniels.
But that's not throwing. That's him running it in. That doesn't count throwing touchdowns. That's him.
That's rushing.
Yeah, that's him rushing or him getting one thrown to him from like a flea flicker.
Oh yeah, he hasn't had a rushing touchdown since week 4. I mean, when you're consecutively scoring 25 plus fantasy points, and of course that's the reason why my ass has had a 5-game skid and I've won 1 out of 5 is because he hasn't been scoring. So
yes,
it's the potential of the fact of the matter is Debo runs the ball too.
He's a dual threat. He's a wide receiver 1 on a team that scores the ball. Whereas the Jets, I think they're a run-heavy team first. And then on like other podcasts, I've mentioned how Aaron Rodgers has a low snap count per game. He does it on purpose. It's his play style. It means he snaps less snaps in every game than average normal quarterbacks. So he's going to see less plays in a game than somebody like Debo.
Essentially, they're the same fucking guy right now, actually, to be honest, because Debo's 35 and Devontae Adams is 39. I just like the upside more of Debo because he can run. They give it to him as a running back sometimes.
Yep.
And dump off that the backfield. I don't know, man.
Jet sweeps.
It just. Oh no. They both suck.
I think, yeah,
suck this season.
Correct, but I think people will like Debo better in an offer than they will Devontae Adams. So I think it's like a shinier bow when you offer Debo for somebody like Mike Evans versus offering them somebody like Adams. Agreed. They're going to see a prettier present.
I mean, as of right now, Mike Evans is wide receiver 36. But before he got hurt, he was wide receiver 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say he hasn't been in.
Wide receiver 3, so
falls down naturally, but he's
fucking Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin's been hurt, and Chris Godwin is still wide receiver 11. That goes to show you. Goes to show you how many that dude has had 137 fantasy points.
Well, he did 100 of them against the Saints, and I called that was gonna happen.
Jesus Christ! And he's been hurt for what? 3 weeks now. It's insane.
I'm gonna be rooting for you, Jay. I hope you hit that craziness. I think you should have put 100 on it, though.
I like Drew. I like Drew's comment here because he's agreeing with what we said. Usage, and yeah,
you got Garrett Wilson.
There's another guy. There's another fucking bust right there. fucking Breece Hall, like that guy. Oh my god, dude, I have him and Adams on the same team, and that's just awful.
Bet heavy on the Jets offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, they still got Garrett Wilson, who has taken wide receiver 1 some games.
He is literally wide receiver 3, by the way. Garrett Wilson is.
That's crazy.
He's wide receiver
Who's
3 in the
2?
league.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like wide receiver.
I was like, who's 2?
No. In the NFL in PPR right now. Garrett Wilson is wide receiver 3. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, and that bastard CD Lamb, which I have no idea how he's still there. I guess just because they have to.
Shocking. I think the Jets is somewhere on the sideline. There's a fault over there.
I don't know. I don't know if John is still in here from Sports for You, but I was watching their show last night, and Mark from Sports for You has the greatest damn saying for what the Jets stand for. It means just in the season. JETS. Just in the season. Literally, I was like, yes, great acronym for the shittiest team. And like, oh boy, the little boy says in Big Daddy, the goddamn Jets. That's literally just like, man, they suck. They suck. Their defense is worse now in the last 5 games than they were before Robert Saleh got fired.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the coaching. I don't think it's the players.
The team sucks.
Man, they got some solid offensive players. We've seen Breece Hall be elite. We've seen Aaron Rodgers be elite. We've seen Devontae Adams be elite. Seen Garrett Wilson be elite. Like, they're just not putting it together. They got all the pieces, but they don't know how to put it together. It's like a Lego set, and you're looking at it in pieces right now. But when you put it together, it's a beautiful picture. I think they have to figure it out on the sideline, and it'll show up. But it's too late. So just in the season is 100% accurate.
Oh, no,
Stop winning, keep losing, get a good draft pick in the season, and figure it out and come back and be the perfect Lego piece.
I know that team's just bad. It's just really bad. Like, I don't understand why they're so bad. I just feel like that's one of those franchises that's just a cursed ass franchise. Like, I mean, they were always one of those like bottom feeders that always just ruined other people's seasons in the past. Like, back in the day when the Chad Pittingtons and Wayne Crabette and Curtis Martin.
Rodgers needs to retire.
Yes, but he said he was going to play next season.
Oh my God, they're gonna drug test him immediately. If I got some dude that's 60 years old telling me he's gonna play next season, we gotta get a urine sample, my man.
Chandler has a good take. 7 games versus Seattle, average 7 catches for over 100 yards. That's a great take, man. He always eats against Seattle. He's always that guy you can depend on when it comes to the kind of down the stretch. He already had his injury this season. He's already had his bullshit that he always goes through, and then it kind of trajectory goes up. They get to the playoffs, and then his trajectory goes back down. So he could be on the rise. The stock could be going up, especially now that they got McCaffrey back, and the gimmicks are going to start going, and the 49ers are going up, and the Jets are just doing this. So, yes, they fluked us, but we look like shit. So, I can't say shit. But yeah, man, and you got anybody else has got questions, we'd love to hear them. We love to see you guys. Literally want to see you guys win. We want to see how you guys are winning. We want to see if your DFS lineups are winning. We want to see if your season-long ROS lineups are winning. So, like, we really want to see that, and we would love for you guys to post pictures. You don't have to post your name and shit or whatever, your tags or social media and stuff. Just post them and let us see them, because we don't know if you guys are actually winning if you don't let us know that you're winning. And we don't know if you guys are losing and we're giving you fucking bad advice, because we can't remember what we told you. So it'd be like,
Chandler said he says
I know that you said that you were like you went.
He also said, though, that the teams he were going against was outscoring them each week. He's ran into that funky thing where you're the number one scorer. You're the number one scorer, and then the teams you're going against are outscoring you each week. It's just almost like that funky curse you go through in the fantasy football season where you feel like you have all the answers, but each week that guy that doesn't normally go off has, 2 touchdowns that week and is burning them. But I just think you just got to stay with it when the stats are saying and the average points you're making each week are working out.
What draft? What is that? Chandler, drafters.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Maybe it's something.
He's gonna
I don't
get
know.
Cody addicted to another fantasy thing. Cody's the king of trying new leagues, man. He's always sending me and Brad some lineup that he's won in for some weird type of fantasy contest that he's in.
I'm the fucking nerd of the group. Like Phil's the DFS guy, Brad's a straight fucking like football guy. I'm the nerd. Like I'm just like, okay, ooh, this shit tastes nice. Ooh, this shit tastes nice. I'm gonna do good on this shit. And then I find out, oh, it's not available in Florida, or it's only available in Texas, or some shit that everybody else can't play. And I'm like, fuck, why can't we?
What's this fantasy football tool you built? Where's it at, Jay? You built it on.
Send it to us, Chandler. Send it to us. So, put it like either drop it in like a comment or whatever.
You build it as a mod? Is that what you're talking about? Like on here somewhere?
We need to know, Jay. Don't be hiding out. DD Fantasy Football. Is it an app or
is that like double D's as in titties? Or
what size? 34? 32?
I built it for a client.
Well, stop holding out. Oh, he said straight up hawk for odd. Yes, do it. Do it.
Get that stack, baby.
Send hawk. Send him. Send it. Yes.
I don't know.
Take it, man. You don't know with Hawk where he's at. He had one good game. K-Dot is eating every game, and he's a stack, bro.
He's got 2 number 1 tight ends. I mean,
toss him. You're 4-6, bro. You got to take risks.
Fliff.
Look, Jay, I don't want to hear shit about shit you made other people until you make us something.
Yes, that's what it needs to be B&B fantasy football, Jay. Not
BB.
This ain't Dungeons and Dragons fantasy football.
Let me see this. I'm opening it now. Destination Divide. First off, the name's too long. Tell them to change the name. And I can't. Can I look at it without paying $50 or no?
Fliff kind of looks like Sleepers is what it looks like to me. I've never heard of it before, and even like people on the on Twitter, I've never even heard them talking about it. But it looks pretty dope. I can see. A bunch of investors put it together.
I can't look at this shit, Jay. It's behind a paywall.
More ways to earn.
The website's nice though. If you did the website.
Oh, so this Fliff shit, you can earn points at Airbnb and fucking Domino's and bruh.
Who talked about Fliff? What's Fliff?
Yeah, Fliff. Drew and Jay are talking about it.
Oh, I missed that. Fliff is a good app, betting props.
They give you free money.
I use that bullshit ass Hard Rock Sports Bet. Well, they have a monopoly on us.
Drew's in Arkansas, so I think sports betting's legal there now too, right? Drew, isn't it? Isn't sports betting legal there?
Oh, I love free money. I just almost signed. I forgot to like complete it, but I'm gonna sign up for BetR too, whatever that shit is. That Logan Paul or Jake Paul was advertising because they do like a 200% match bonus up to $200.
By the way,
I get like 600. I'm on that.
By the way, that is actually a sanctioned fight with knockouts, by the way.
It's not an exhibition match?
No, it is fucking sanctioned and it's going to count on their records, professional records. Mike Tyson does not knock his ass out and that fight doesn't go longer. It's 8 rounds.
It's going to go 8 rounds, dog. Y'all sleeping on Jake Paul. My man eats, sleeps, breathes fighting. Mike Tyson is acting in the fucking Hangover. He is not knocking nobody out.
He's 58, but at the same time,
but I'm betting on Mike Tyson if that
But at the same time, though, Mike Tyson is 58 years old. He's a 58-year-old man, and Jake Paul said something about his daughter for one. And
they are best friends in real life. Do not let that pregame.
It does not. It does not matter.
It's all staged.
Jake Paul gonna get in there and start trying to do some shit. He's gonna do some shit that's gonna unlock the beast in fucking Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson's gonna accidentally forget, and he's gonna fucking stick Jake.
They are gonna fucking spar up there, man, and it's gonna be a draw at the very end because they're fucking friends. But if I'm betting on Mike Tyson because it's my favorite fighter of all time. But do not sleep on Jake.
Hold up. Let's work this out. This is real time.
He has
real
time. Oh, Kincaid.
He's on. He's hurt. So real time on the.
No, he's not hurt. Wait. He's on the bar.
Postpone it. Postpone it.
Let's see.
Just tell him you need time to think about it, and then after Sunday, propose the trade. As soon as they play, propose the trade right after. Like, I need to think about it.
Looking. Who's available on the waiver wire, by the way, just so that I know.
Dude, if there's a prop for Mike Tyson biting ears tomorrow, I'm fucking going crazy.
I like Disney too, by the way.
Nah, man, sleep on it. Tell him you need time to think about it and trade after this week. Plus, it'll also give you insight on Hawk again to see if he's really going to come back as Hawk or not.
Noah Fant's questionable. I like AJ Barner better if you're going with a Seahawks player, though. But, I mean, Gesicki, if he's available, obviously, because he gets catches. But, I mean, Disney's, man, fucking Chargers, dude. They look good. They look good. Justin Herbert looks good for finally in his life. Looks good again.
I played him like 3 weeks ago at $150 single entry, and they kicked 5 field goals, and they could not score the ball in the red zone.
And I was like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what's happened in the last 2 weeks though, but I feel like John Harbaugh has been like unlocked this shit inside Justin Herbert to give him the most amount of confidence I've seen him have since he got paid. Dude looked good last week. I dumped Matthew Stafford in the other league.
Even the game they kicked 5 field goals, he had like almost a perfect completion percentage and threw for over 300 yards, but they couldn't score. So fuck them.
I mean, if you want to wait on it, Connor, if you can,
wait on it. Tell him everything under the sun. You got a cold, you got a cough. You're not looking at fantasy right now. Oh, I forgot. Let Sunday pass, see how Hawk does, and then make the trade.
You can do that. Or try to grab somebody off of waivers. I mean, that's it. That's rough in a 12-man, though. That waiver wire is rough. So, Chandler says, keep Hawk. Kincaid got an ankle injury. I know I saw that shit. So, I know, man, you're kind of against a rock and a hard spot at this moment. Maybe you just keep Hawk and then try to make the finesse somebody for Mike Evans. But, man, we love to keep the conversation going, guys. Mike biting 2 ears tomorrow. It's on Friday, man. Anybody else got any other questions before we hop off here? If not, or if you can't think of it right now, bring them to Saturday's show.
Saturdays, easier. It's all about the main slate.
Yeah, because injuries are a little bit easier to address unless it's specifically about tomorrow. And you're not like someone's not pressing you for a trade, right? Like this very second. So, just before we go away, who wins? Obviously, you guys. I think, Brad. I know we know you're going Philly.
Philly's favorited. It's at Philly. I'm gonna go hometown DMV. Going to the Skins, baby.
Drew, I think I would get rid of Breece Hall. If I could.
Agreed.
Paint my cat's nails. What the fuck?
He's being
my
he's
cat would have clawed the shit out of
trolling.
me back in the
He's
day if I tried to paint
trolling.
her nails.
He's trolling. You trolling, Jay.
Nah,
You
he might
trolling.
not be. He treats that cat like a baby.
Oh my God, you trolling. Oh, he's doing
Damn.
Caleb Williams. Yeah. Throwing Caleb Williams jokes in. I'm gonna take Washington to at least cover. I think that they cover that 3.5 points for sure. So
All right.
All right, fellas.
we
See y'all
appreciate you
Saturday.
guys, and we will see you guys on Saturday. 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. See y'all then.
Adios.
Later.